Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. This is the fan reaction show on an absolutely pathetic evening at Bramall Lane. Newcastle have lost to Sheffield United by a 0-0. That was absolutely embarrassing by Newcastle United and Steve Bruce tonight. And I'm sure that'll not be the last time people will be saying that on the fan reaction show. Get yourself involved. We're on for the next hour or so. I'm here with Matt. Matt, before we get people in, that was absolutely pathetic from Newcastle United Football Club.
I feel I'm sick to my back teeth. There aren't enough words in the dictionary to describe how pathetic that was. You're setting up for a 0-0 draw against a team that have got 2 points. They haven't won since July. They've got 8 goals from 17 games, and you're going 5 at the back. It was disgusting. But it's not about me tonight. It's about all of you lot tuning in and getting involved on the fan reaction show.
100%.
Yes, we've got a lot of people waiting already to voice what I'm sure is very positive reaction all round from everyone.
Who's the first one we've got, Matt?
Yes, we've got Mr. PD Proudlock waiting in the wings. Let's bring him in. See how my Wi-Fi is doing today.
Good evening, Peter. How are you?
I'm absolutely frigging appalled with that. I'm absolutely embarrassed to be a Newcastle fan after that tonight. I was a fucking atrocious embarrassment. Steve Bruce has to go. He has to go. That was a sackable offence out there tonight. From him, the players should be all ashamed of themselves from that.
Everyone's going to be talking about Steve Bruce, PD Prolock. Tactically, that was absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. 5 at the back.
Exactly, 5 at the back.
Team. 5 at the back against the Sheffield United team, who hadn't won a game all season.
Exactly. As soon as I seen that lineup, I was on my way home from work, and as soon as I see that, I nearly fell out my fucking seat. I'm thinking, is he taking the piss? Is he asking for the fucking sack? Is he just asking to be sacked? Or is he just waiting to hand his notice in after full time? Deary friggin' me.
Why did we give Sheffield United, don't get me wrong, Sheffield United are a great football club. They are a great football club, but the bottom of the league for the reason. 2 draws and 15 defeats this season. Why are we playing 3-5-2 or 5-3-2? We're not going to play it. Ridiculous.
That's Steve Bruce that, because I'm fucking done with this manager.
Proudlock, where do we go from here? Because no one. Darlow's made a couple of good saves. I think Kieran Clark was okay, but nobody else in that team did anything.
Fucking awful. Backwards, he's gone completely. Jeff Hendricks just been a waste of a signing. Oh, honestly.
Matt, let's get you in, because I think me and Peter are about to blow up here. It took us to the 63rd minute, Matt, to get our first shot on target. Our first shot on target was a free kick in our own half, and Fabian Schär is trying to save the goalkeeper's off his line.
Yeah. It's despicable. I'm so angry. I'm physically searching for the words to describe. Like, I can't get past the fact we're playing 5 at the back, 5, and it's not even like we've got attacking fullbacks as well. Like Yedlin, yes, you know he does get forward, but what's his end product at the end of the day? I'd even be happy to see bloody Jamal Lewis in that starting lineup, and that's how badly that it was today. And you've got Hendrick and Hayden, and if God love Hayden, he does a good job, but. And Sean as well. Like, that's the least attacking midfield 3 I've seen. Like, why not go 2 up top? You play God knows what formation. You said in the WhatsApp we've got 5-2-2-1 to start the game. What good does that do anyone? I'm lost for words. It's ridiculous.
Peter, Matt's touched on it brilliant there. That formation to start the game, and where was the help for Callum Wilson tonight? Where was the help?
I feel so sorry for that lad. He's just isolated up front. It's just, what's the point?
It's just pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. And Jeff Hendrick tonight, Peter, I'll make this the last point, because we've got so many people that want to get on.
Waste of a signing.
What did he do today?
Fuck all. Absolutely fuck all.
I just don't know where to stand from. I don't honestly. It's just absolutely pathetic. where we would be this season without Darlow and Callum Wilson, Peter Prowlock. Where would we be?
Right in the bottom three, no doubt about that. Without them, we'd be definitely in that bottom three.
I've just seen a comment there. Apparently, we're lucky to have Steve Bruce as a manager. Lucky to have him. Lucky.
No, not lucky at all. We're playing dinosaur football week in, week out.
Matt, are we lucky to have Steve Bruce as our manager?
According to who? Well, according to TalkSport, that's who's saying it. But according to any single person that's watched more than one Newcastle game this season, absolutely not. Before the game, Jamie Redknapp was saying, comparing Bruce to Rafa and saying that we were playing worse football than Rafa. Yes, we played boring defensive football under Rafa. We got results against teams like United. We got results against like Manchester City, for Christ's sake. We've pulled off. We played quite well against Liverpool and Arsenal, but we pulled off the occasional lucky result, which has kept him in a job. And the sad thing is, he's not going to get sacked and he's not going to walk. So we're stuck with him.
We are stuck with him, unfortunately. We really are. I'm on 19 points at the minute. You look at that 40-point mark. Where are we getting 7 wins from? Or where are we getting 5 or 6 wins and a few draws from at the minute? Honestly, I can't see it. Peter, last final words. Can Steve Bruce survive this? Can he get a result at Arsenal? Can he?
I don't know where the next results. I think Arsenal will absolutely batter us next Monday. We're coming up against the Aubameyang, Lacazette, players like them. They're going to have us on toast.
You've just said Peter Pryor is going to have us on toast. Peter, thank you so much for your time. Great to have you in the fan reaction show. We'll hopefully see you at the Arsenal game on Monday. Matt, who's next?
We've got Lawrence waiting in the wings. He had a lot to say last week, so hopefully he can keep that up again this week, because I know he's not. He's definitely in the Bruce out camp.
Lawrence, describe your feelings on that.
To say that's humiliating, absolute understatement. And if Steve Bruce has a shred, any dignity whatsoever, he will walk.
Will he walk?
Sorry?
Will he walk?
Not, but if he did have any dignity, he'd walk.
Can you take any positives out of this?
Nah.
That was I thought I might get a bit more off you, Lawrence. That was what I thought. Lawrence, Ryan Fraser sending off. Look, it did change slightly, that we had to adapt a little bit because we did go down to 10 men, but so idiotic, so stupid from Ryan Fraser. We've barely seen him this season, and it was so idiotic from him.
Why is Jacob Murphy not starting more games? Ryan Fraser, I was surprised to see him in the starting lineup. I didn't think he'd be fit. It's just silly from him.
You look at Sheffield United today, Lawrence, 2 points, and you saw how they approached the game, playing lovely football, and you were jealous, and they're bottom of the league.
It's like, man, I don't even know how to describe it, man.
It's just excruciating at times.
We've had a comment in the comments. We've had a comment from Sino8981. He says our squad is at least mid-table level. Long today's forgetting Steve Bruce. Is our squad anywhere near mid-table level?
Yeah, it's top half probably. Wilson, Fraser. I know some of these players are injured. Saint-Maximin, Fernandez, Cher, Hayden, Shelby. Got good goalkeepers. We can't just. Yes, they do need to step up the squad, but there's no way you can tell me that this squad can't get top 10.
I think it comes down to the manager, Matt. It does come back down to the manager.
Exactly.
Lawrence has got a great point. All these players that we're talking about here are good players. There's some good players in that squad. He's so frightened, Steve Bruce, to let the handbrake off. He's so frightened. Why is he so worried?
Not a clue.
Why do you think he's worried, Matt?
I don't. Well, because if going into this game, if he goes attacking and then we lose, then he's just he'll be able to hold his hands up and say, I played attacking football like everyone's been asking us to. We lost the game, so like he would get, if we lost against Sheffield United in a normal game, he would be calling for his head. Now he's got the excuse that Fraser's been sent off, so it's less embarrassing, and they only won 1-0. Like 90% of football fans tonight will watch that game, just football fans in general, not Newcastle fans, and they'll look at 1-0 win for Sheffield against 10 men Newcastle, and they go, oh, that seems, fair. 10 men, you're expected to win against 10 men. They won't have seen the absolute shit show that was the 90 or the 45 minutes before the red card, but the 90 minutes in total. They'll let Bruce off the hook now.
Lawrence, Sheffield United should have won by more. They should have won by more. Rhian Brewster's hit the post late on. Sheffield United went for it. 50 minutes they brought Rhian Brewster on. 55 or 60 minutes, but his shot was on. They had 4 strikers on at one point.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Wilder, I'd definitely take him over Steve Bruce. I mean, who wouldn't I take over Steve Bruce apart from, some of the crap managers we've had. But yeah, Brewster was decent when he came on. But they are going. At least they're trying in this game. And to be fair, I don't think it's a one for not trying for Sheffield United, because apparently they haven't really had a hammer in this year, even though you still expect them to go down. Like, for example, only losing 1 goal against Liverpool, Man City.
They've done better against us against Manchester City, but tough to take. Lawrence, thank you so much for your time. Got so many people wanting to try and get on, so thank you so much for your time. We'll see you at the Arsenal game. Matt, who we got next?
We've got Callum waiting in the wings. He was on last week as well. Evening, Callum. How are you doing, mate?
Evening. Yeah, not bad. You guys?
I've been better.
Ow.
Callum,
apart from the games.
Yeah, Callum, what went wrong?
Look, you said the defending 5 in the back.
Why did Steve Bruce go 5 at the back, Callum?
Probably loves it. That's the main thing. I know. Well, Steve Bruce, I think he's not doing right. Like I said before, you guys, he's like a championship manager ever. Then the Premier League manager, he's not worth it. And I saw on my Facebook, he's the first manager become with Sheffield United.
Yeah. He's actually not got a bad record, Matt, against Sheffield United. That's only his 2nd defeat in 11. But
yeah,
why did he go 5 at the back? Why did he not go for 4 at the back tonight, Matt?
I've absolutely no idea. It was on the last week's fan reaction show against Arsenal that I touched on a tweet from Alex Hurst, former Nust member, and he tweeted out a fact. I can't remember the exact numbers, but we'd won 1 game in something like 23 attempts when we started 5 at the back. 1 game, and he's done it again against a team that's scored 8 in 17. It blows the mind. The mind boggles. Like, even most manager in the world wouldn't go 5 at the back against that team. I'm lost. I don't know.
Callum, would you have gone 4 at the back tonight?
I would, because the most common thing in the football, and my close stepdad said 4-4-2, and I totally agree. We need 2 on the front and then 1 in the front, because I hate it.
There was a few players that started tonight, Callum, that I don't think we expected to start. Jeff Hendrick, Sean Longstaff played 120 minutes. DeAndre Yedlin didn't have a great game against Arsenal. Paul Dummett's not played a lot of football. They all started tonight. Would you have made any changes?
I would make a few changes. I think Jeff Hendrick, he's not good on. He's pathetic. He's rubbish.
Who would you have put instead?
I say Joe Shelby after the last season where we were brilliant in the last year. Is it? I can't remember when you went to Borough Lane. It's mental.
Yeah, it was a great day. It seems like a long time ago, but it's a good away day.
I just love your reaction. That's the thing when it comes to VR this year. I thought, oh my god, I just love it.
Yeah, it was a good night. Finally, Callum, before we get another person on, because we've got people, the studio's full behind the scenes. So if you're trying to get on, we'll try and get you on. We'll get everybody on us before half past 9 rather tonight. Callum, if Steve Bruce isn't the man, who is the man?
Well, right now,
Right now,
if Steve was not become the manager right now, I don't want it. We want what's his name? The Bournemouth manager.
Eddie Howe.
Yeah, he would be perfect. He's good with Callum Wilson and with Ryan Fraser. That would be a perfect talk to the team, and then so we get confident. That would be bloody better.
Yeah, Callum, thank you so much for your time. It's been brilliant to speak to you, but we're going to try and get some more people on. Thanks for your time, mate. Matt, who's next?
Sorry there, Callum. We've got James next. Young lad, he's joined us the past couple of games. He's always got some good stuff to say. Evening, James.
I'm depressed.
You're depressed? Was it that bad, was it? Yeah, mate. James, Steve Bruce has just spoken about the penalty incident. You know, when the referee goes over to the monitor, it will be a penalty. It's pathetic. It's beyond me. And then there's a horror challenge by Buddy Sharp. That should be a straight red card. Are those just excuses?
Yeah, just excuses to get him out of his mess of what he's done to this club. He's just fucked the club up.
Do you think that it was a penalty?
Yeah, because, well, actually 50-50, because obviously there was a handball in it, but Billy Sharp pushed Fernandez down a little bit as well. So, and I would say there was no offside in it. I didn't see any offside in it, but because apparently there was a little bit offside in it, but I couldn't see any in it. It's probably Steve Bruce making more excuses again. It's just, I'm done.
I think a lot of fans are done. I think a lot of fans are done, mate, to be honest with you. Look, Sheffield United could have scored a lot more tonight. 1-0 flattered us. 1-0 against the bottom of the league flattered us. It's just awful, isn't it?
Embarrassing. I felt like I was watching a League Two side getting beat by like a Champions League side. That's what I felt like tonight.
What changes would you have made at the very beginning of the match?
I would definitely not go 5 at the back. Telling you that now. Should have went 4 at the back, attacking, and just go for it and win. And that would have saved Bruce's job, even though I kind of did want to lose because I don't want Bruce in my club anymore. It's just depressing.
Matt, it's actually really fascinating here because we obviously are all fans, and this is what it means to Newcastle fans. It is, it's the first thing you think about when you get up. It's the last thing you think about when you go to bed. Newcastle United, because you want this team to do so well, and it's just tough, isn't it, Matt?
I'm losing all hope, to be honest. If I wasn't part of this channel, I genuinely might even consider switching that game off at half time. I just don't want. I don't want to watch Newcastle anymore, which breaks my heart. For all of my life, I've wanted to watch Newcastle. I've wanted to go to the games. I've wanted to support the lads week in, week out, and everything's just been sucked out of it. I don't know if it's the same for you, James, but I just don't want to watch this team play anymore.
I just walked out the house at half time for a walk because I was that angry. I just walked out the house.
I don't think many people would have blamed you, James. Finally, James, when you look at it now, Steve Bruce is under a lot of pressure. We've just spoken to Callum before. He wouldn't mind Eddie Howe coming in. If Steve Bruce was to be sacked, which is unlikely because Mike actually doesn't really want to sack his managers unless they're in real bother.
I can't see him walking either.
No. Who would you like to see come in?
Eddie Howe. I agree with Callum.
Eddie Howe is the popular name, isn't he? Be interesting to see if he can get more out of this team because I think any half decent manager could, Matt.
Do you think Eddie Howe would actually join us at this point in time, though? Even halfway through the season, end of the season, do you think he'd want to come under Ashley?
I don't blame him. Don't blame him.
Be interesting. 19 points. Eddie Howe would have about 6 months to kind of work out who he wanted in his squad. And then he's got a summer transfer window, maybe with new owners, depending on who you believe. But James, thank you very much for your time. It's been brilliant to speak to you. Hopefully next time we speak to you, we can talk about a good result and a good victory. But thank you very much for your time.
Bye.
Right, that was James, very passionate about everything that's going on with Newcastle United. Matt, who's next?
Next we have Brandon, our lovely member of FTV, waiting to join us.
Brandon,
him on.
That
Yes.
was pathetic.
It's underrated, mate. It's like, it's not even the right word. It's a joke. We have to change something, really.
What do we change?
Fucking manager, man. Oh, wait. You know that answer. Like, I really think we need a new manager for having some players fighting for their place again, because now they don't give fuck all. Like, you saw Wilson, you saw Cher, that they're getting frustrated, they're not playing with any ambition anymore. That attempt from Cher on the goal from half court, it's a joke. When I was playing football, I was doing that if I had no interest anymore, I couldn't give a fuck about the game anymore. That's when I was starting to do shit like that.
It's just tough, isn't it?
I think a new manager, and it doesn't even matter who it is, if he has some sort of clue what he's doing, it will give some refreshment to the players, and it will probably, because we have a good side, you know, we can play attacking football, and I don't care if we then lose 2 or 3-0 or 3-1, whatever, from Liverpool or whatever, but playing so defensively about Sheffield United is a fucking joke. Seriously, like, that's all I wanted to say, to be fair. So,
yeah, I was just going to say it's not good enough. And Matt put up a good point before, Brandon. He said that if we weren't working for this channel, would we even watch Newcastle United? Because I would imagine thousands of other football fans in general would watch us and going, I'm not watching this. I don't pay me Sky Sports and me BT Sport or whatever and watch this. It's awful.
I will always watch Newcastle though, no matter what. But it's fucking frustrating. I understand that we're not a part of NFTV. We would probably, it will be hard to watch. You know, it will be hard. Like Matt says, it will be hard to not turn off. So I get his point for sure, but it's speechless, man. It's a fucking joke.
Matt, when you look at Newcastle at the minute, it's just a toxic football club. No winning 8, out of the League Cup to Brentford, out of the FA Cup, nothing to look forward to. 19 points. Steve Bruce says we're not in a relegation battle. Are we in a relegation battle, Matt?
He's just slightly behind, but I think he's.
We're absolutely in a relegation battle. I think we're right amongst it. We're in with those lads in and around the bottom of the table. I mean, Sheffield United, they looked good, as bad as we were. Sheffield United looked all right today, and they look as though they've got enough about them to get the points they need to potentially stay up. I know they're a long way behind, and it'll be very difficult for them to do that. But you look at how they performed today and compare them to how we performed, and they played us off the park. Yes, we were crap, but at the same time, they were quite good.
Because they get all room to play like this. We gave them the room to play and gave them the confidence.
Yeah.
How can you play against the bottom? No disrespect to Sheffield United, but they're pretty shit. And the way they're for no reason on the bottom of the league, right? And you play 5 in the back. I seriously said it also on the watch along. I would really love to pay money to have a talk with Steve Bruce and hope to get some sense of his thought process. Like, how does he come up with this bullshit? Really, I would love to know, because and maybe I can make some sort of sense of it. I hope. Probably not, but you know, it's a fucking joke.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Brandon. Thank you very much for your time. We're going to get some more people on. Yeah, watch the watch-alongs with Brandon and Carl and Adam. They're absolutely brilliant. I can highly recommend them. So if you want to see more of Brandon, we've got the watch-alongs.
It's mainly Carl and Adam though, but I'm just joining in sometimes. But so,
pick yourself up, man, Brandon. Pick yourself up.
I wish Steve Bruce was that humble as I was for a minute, but no, I'm joking.
Thanks very much, Brandon. We'll see you later on, mate.
Good luck to the supporters.
And that was Brandon, who's just about to leave us. There is maybe a slight delay between me and Matt, but Matt is doing all the stuff behind the scenes, so you can let him off a little bit.
Yes, sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I keep drinking, man. No worries.
We've got Adam waiting. We've got Adam waiting as well. We didn't give him a lot of time last week, so I'm glad he's on nice and early this week. So we'll get a good chat with him. We'll say goodbye to Brandon as well while I can.
Yeah, what are you doing?
This is what you get when you get a really old laptop and really old Wi-Fi.
No, don't worry about it. Adam, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I just show myself, okay?
Yeah.
Here's Brandon. So Brandon's left us.
See you, Brandon.
Hey, guys.
We're back down to 3. Adam, welcome to the show. Where do we start with that shambolic performance?
I've been waiting to come on now, and I was as bored waiting as I was as bored watching that game, to be honest. It's boring being a Newcastle fan now. It's boring watching Brucey ball. It was embarrassing. Just the whole thing was embarrassing, and I had a feeling that it would happen. I added in one of the comments on the live show during the watch along, when Derby County went down in 2010 or whenever it was, or probably long before that actually. Derby County went down with 11 points and they won one game all season. Guess who they beat?
This football, well, it was meant to be bad. This football club right here.
Say that again.
I'm just saying this football club right here. Unfortunately, Newcastle United wasn't very good.
Yeah. And it's also obviously Bruce who everyone is blaming, and to me it's not just about the poor tactics or the poor team selection or maybe the poor substitutions. It's what happens between the games. It's what happens when the players are in the changing room. I don't think he's got the balls to give the players the talking that they need to. He doesn't seem to jeer the players up. He doesn't seem to get them up for the game. They come out, they are flat. When Ryan Fraser, gives away gets booked twice for 2 horrific challenges. I mean, there was no disputing that they were yellow card offenses, 100%, no disputing. If I was Steve Bruce, I'd be throwing the hairdryer, the ironing curl, the straightener, I'd be throwing the whole wardrobe at him. But instead, he'll probably put his hand around him and say, "Can I make you a bacon sandwich?" He'll do something like that instead. He is just not the right person. The fairy tale happened. He was a local lad. He got the job. It didn't work out. Thank you very much. It's time to go.
Adam, can I just quickly, I'm just going to go back on one of the comments which Steve Bruce has just mentioned. A big thanks to Kevin Scott, who is a silver member. So a big thank you to Kevin. Bruce, I will never walk away from a challenge. I understand that, especially in the first half, we were not good enough, especially in the first half. I think the whole 90 minutes, Steve. We were not good enough, and I take responsibility for that. There's just no fight in him, is there really, Adam?
He can take responsibility for it, but maybe that's the problem. Maybe he needs to start digging out his players a little bit. Mourinho does it, works for him sometimes. Maybe he needs to actually show a little bit of bottle and actually say we weren't good enough. It's the players weren't good enough. I set out the team the best way I thought. They let me down. They let the fans down. But I mean, now I'm pointing fingers at the players. I agreed with people that came on previously that we do have good players. It's him. It's Bruce. I can't actually go further than say it's Bruce. He can say that he takes the blame and whatever, but he's got to say that. I mean, what else can he say? If he blames the players, then the players will get upset because he's not a strong enough personality to hold the team together, to hold the dressing room together. So he has to say that he'll take the responsibility.
I think there's similarities, Matt, of the Steve McLaren era, and we're not a million miles away from that. You look at some performances, and Keith has just put one there. Newcastle won Bournemouth 3. I was at that game, and that was toxic. That was bad. That was really bad. Are we nearly at that stage, Matt?
Yeah. I'd go as far to say we're beyond that stage, to be honest. You know, if there was, I've said this almost every week, if there was fans in the grounds, Bruce would be gone by now. And it's shocking. We went down under McLaren because, you know, he stuck with the manager until we were practically already relegated. And it could be the same story this season, unless there are just 3 really shocking things, which it doesn't really look like. The bottom 3 this season all look like they're half decent sometimes, and we don't. So it's shocking. It's one of the worst seasons performance-wise I've ever seen us have.
I think, do you know what it is? I think it beats Brentford. And it took me ages to get over that Brentford game because obviously with the importance of the cup game, Adam, sorry, I should say. Is there any complaints over the penalty awarding? Because it's a bit mixed in our WhatsApp. Sam thinks it isn't a penalty, thinks it's more of a foul. I think it is a penalty. I think the arm's out. I think the arm's there. I think he's panicked a little bit. Where do you stand on the penalty decision there, Adam?
Look, penalty aside, we deserved to lose that game. We weren't in it. But if we're talking purely about the penalty, it's a tough one. Some will argue that he did move his hand in a way that was intentional to sort of flick the ball, but he's going down at the same time. Billy Sharp is holding on the back of him and pushing him down. He's on the way down. You don't have full control over your body. You know, the momentum is taking you down. Your limbs are flying all over because you're literally falling face forward. It's hard to control, you know, your hands and whatever in that situation. I'm sure you guys have played football and you've been in a tackle before. You know, when you're going down, you lose sort of your control of yourself. And how you can give a penalty when the player ends up, the player who gives away the penalty ends up on the ground being pushed by Billy Sharp. It is a strange one, but take away the penalty, take away the dodgy decision, whether or not it was one or not, we still deserve to lose that game. They were always going to score, whether it have been a penalty or some other way. They were always going to win that game.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Adam. I really do. If it wasn't that penalty, it would have been another time. And unfortunately, Newcastle would have lost that game. It was just a matter of if and not when they were going to score. Adam, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on all the way from South Africa.
Thanks, guys. The best,
you know,
the only part that has been good about, the only part that's been good about this night, sorry to cut you off, is following the live show and being here. And it's the only thing that makes me happy as a Newcastle fan right now. So I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Everybody at Newcastle Fans TV will be over the moon that you're saying that, because obviously when you've got defeats like this to talk about, I'm sure Matt can echo this. It's tough. It's very tough.
Yeah, it's people like you that engage with us on the channel that we know that we're not alone in results like this. When you get you guys to come on the show and chat about it, it's nice to have you guys there to support us as well. So we appreciate your kind words, mate.
Thanks very much, Adam. We'll see you on Monday night against the Arsenal.
Yeah.
No problem. Thanks very much, mate. We'll get Matt to sort out the next person involved. And know loads of you want to get involved. So, Matt, let's get another one on.
We should have Andrew next. I'll try him on here.
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
I think that's weird.
I'm good. Just to back up what Adams just said there before, he's right. When you do watch this tripe on a weekly basis and you have an option to come on and say what you want to say, it does make things a little bit easier.
Yeah, thank you very much for your kind words there. I think that's probably the kindest words you're going to say to us about Newcastle United.
Yes.
But
I think
give us your thoughts.
There was a statement there read out what Steve Bruce said about the match, and he said we were better in the second half. We had 10 men. I think we need to worry about why we're better with 10 than what we are with 11, simply because we never play a ball forward. The amount of times that we get the ball in the centre midfield and we can either play a simple ball into midfield or play a gambling ball into someone that's got someone at the back. We never do. No one's brave enough on the ball It's okay, the likes of people running off the ball, trying to receive the ball, but they're not getting the ball played into them. So it's a revolving door. We keep losing the ball, and then the ball comes back. So
what do you
it
think
is what it is. I
best
think
formation is, Andrew.
I think I would have went with a Sheffield formation, if I'm honest, 4-1-4-1. You could have fitted Miggy in, you could have fitted Hayden in, and you could have put Matty in. You could have had Hayden holding, Matty and Miggy in the middle, or Miggy is number 10. Jacob Murphy, I think, should have started. He was at least putting the ball in the box when he did get the ball. But Ryan Fraser kind of just summed up the confidence in the squad tonight, that he was sitting. Both his fouls, I think I might be wrong about his first one, so I was sitting watching the live show. His first foul was in the first half, in our half, and the second one was in a defensive position again. So we're attacking players most of the time when they have got the ball in our own half, and we're trying to play long. Ryan Fraser's not going to gain any guarantees or gain any advantage by a long ball when he's in our half. He's the lad that's got the pace to get up the pitch.
Andrew, are the players playing for the manager?
I think there's a group that are, but majority aren't. I think there's a little group, and I think that makes things worse, because that means Steve's got a little bit more time.
Matt, do you agree with Andrew? Do you think there's a core group of players that are playing for the manager, and if so, who are they?
Hayden.
I think that it's not necessarily playing for the manager, but like the players that will give 100% no matter what, they're not going to give up. You know, Hayden's one of them. You're absolutely right. I think Clark, he's got to be included in that group as well. Even Callum Wilson, you know, I've slated him a couple of times. He plays at the top of the pitch by himself. It's a very lonely role, but he gives his all every game. You cannot fault him. So there are a few players that do give 100%. I don't think they're necessarily playing for the manager, but that's who they are. That's the type of energy they'll bring every single game.
I don't know what your opinion is, lads, but the likes of Shaw. I mean, I think it was last week or the week before I mentioned I wouldn't have put Shaw in for this game, simply because we know Sheffield. I think we look too much into how much this game meant to us rather than thinking of how much this game meant to Sheffield United tonight. And I think the team he put out reflected that he had Steve Bruce in this case had no confidence that his team could just go and beat Sheffield. Just go and beat them. The low on confidence, go and play a game, go and beat them, do what we've been practicing week in, week out. He was too interested in trying to frustrate them and then hit them.
Yeah. Do you know this as well? There should be no excuse about being tired. Sheffield United played Bristol. Like Bristol rose to Arsenal. Yes, I get that argument. But they played away from home in a very tight game. And they've had to travel back as well. And when they got back until late Saturday night, you know, Sheffield United had to win that game tonight if they have any chance of staying up. They were 12 points ahead, from safety before a ball was kicked. They're now 9 points ahead. That might give them a little boost. Now, Newcastle are just, at the minute, in such a mess that, you know, we've just given Sheffield United a massive boost tonight. And I just think that's just so frustrating, Andrew.
What we've got to worry of is we are well aware from last season that Sheffield United are capable of going on a good run. We could very easily not just be dragged into this by the teams that's just below us, but also the teams that are far beyond. Sheffield, I don't think they'll get out of trouble. However, I do think they're capable of going on a good run and dragging us in. I mean, we've got Arsenal, Everton, Leeds and Everton.
Yeah.
I said to the missus in early December, I don't think we're going to be on 20 points by my birthday, which is 3rd of February. So I'd like to see again in February whether I'm right or not. I hope I'm wrong. But like you said, like I said before, it is what it is. I think everyone's clear now. Steve Bruce has got to go. I'm not a big fan of Eddie Howe. I'm not, but he's better.
Who do you want in?
I haven't. I'll be honest. I couldn't look around at the moment and see someone that fits us. I think the person that I would have took is David Moyes, and I know that's not going to be a popular opinion, but I think he's proved that he can get a nucleus of players that's got a little bit of quality together to play a certain way to get the best out of them. And we haven't got that. I think if he was in charge at the start of the season, we would be where West Ham are. I think us and West Ham squad-wise are not far apart. It's the manager that's making the difference.
I think it's a very fair point. Thank you very much for your time, Andrew. We're going to try and get some more people on, but
take care.
Some
Thanks.
fascinating points. We'll hopefully see you at the Arsenal game, my friend.
Will do. Take care.
Thank you. Yeah, some fascinating points from Andrew there. It was absolutely brilliant. We'll try and he's going to be off screen in the next few seconds. Obviously, there's a slight delay between myself and Matt, but not too long. But yeah, we've got some more people that we're going to try and get on. Matt, who have we got next?
We've got sorry about this, lads. We've got Jay in Atlanta, big fan of the channel, always comes on and talks a lot of sense. So we'll hear what he's to say next.
Hey guys.
Hold on 1 second.
Hi Jay, how you doing? Is it good afternoon? Is it?
It is good afternoon.
More of an afternoon than an evening. But oh my goodness, what a terrible afternoon for you, Jay.
Unacceptable, just unacceptable. And here's my take on why it is. You know, our culture is toxic, where toxicity is the enemy of our success, right? That's what as a football organization, we want to win. And when you're in a bad culture, and maybe people watching have been that way in professional life, right? It goes both ways. We as individuals and our players are responsible to contribute even in tough times. But ultimately, who's accountable for that is the management, right? And here that management goes up from Bruce to Charlie to Ashley, and they're all completely guilty. We can't change that. We have no authority here. There's nothing, we can bitch all we want, but nothing is going to happen unless Ashley says so. And I feel that our players who've lost the dressing room, they're not playing well. There may be a few players that are trying, but while that failure to rise to the occasion is understandable, because we're just humans, like they're humans too, right? Despite the millions, they're just people. And this is how people react in these situations. We get tired, we lose our morale, we get pissed off, we don't want to play. Well, it's understandable, if not excusable. And this has made a situation where we're about to take a 10th place team, maybe a 9th, 8th place team, maybe on a good set of runs, certainly no worse than 14th. And we're about to compete with teams that are far below us for no reason other than the direct failures of our manager and the direct failure of the management of this organization. This is absurd. If this were a public company, the board would be attacked. Stock prices would be dropping. They would be unable to lie to us on quarterly funding reports. But we have no recourse there now. And until Mike Ashley realizes that what he is doing is going to cost him hundreds of millions of pounds, because he's not going to be able to sell the club in this environment. And that's all he wants. He wants out. He's tired of us. We're tired of him. We're trying to part ways, but we can't, maybe because of collusion. I don't know, unproved. But Ashley's not going to get his money back. And if we get relegated, we're not bouncing back. We're not doing what we did in 09 and 17. That is not going to happen. And that is self-evident. And Ashley is not a moron. He may be mean, he may be cruel, and he may be very business-minded, but he is not a moron. And I've just ranted for 2 minutes straight there. I'm sorry about that, but it just seems self-evident to me. What's wrong with these people?
Don't apologize, Jay. Don't apologize, because I think a lot of people agree with what you're saying. Will Mike actually panic, Jay?
I don't think so. You know, I read about the stuff he gets into with business. I think he's past panic, right? I don't think he panics. Don't like the man, but I don't think he panics. Will he make a ruthless decision? He'll do anything to keep the value of his asset up, including, I don't know, paying a manager some money. He might even be so desperate he would do that. I don't have a good idea on who that ought to be. I'm actually more concerned that he would just say F it and eat the loss. Take us down, sit on us for a decade, right? I actually fear that more than the panic. What do you fear, Jonathan?
I have to be honest, and I'll get Matt involved in this as well. You say about, fuck it, we might get relegated or whatever, and we might not get back promoted. But if he wants to sell this football club, like a lot of people are saying, now we don't know if he wants to sell this football club properly. Now, if he does, I'll put this question to you, Matt. If you were selling anything, a business, a football club, if there was any particular reason why your price would go down, surely you'll do the maximum to keep your price at the highest possible. And for Newcastle, it's staying in the Premier League. Surely, Matt, he needs to do something if there's jeopardy in place.
Well, you'd think so, but then you've also got the double-edged sword that if you go and get relegated, yes, the asking price will be lower, but they're more lenient with the takeovers in the Championship. There's less rules and regulations. So a takeover like the Saudi takeover that was rejected by the Premier League might have been approved by the EFL. So there's cons with Mike Ashley. We'll be looking at that and he'll think maybe, you know, if I stick with Bruce, we do go down. Yes, I'll take a hit in the asking price, but I can get it off. I can offload it for maybe just like 50 million less, given if we keep a lot of the players that we've got, he won't take much hit. But yeah, like I said, the regulations are a lot looser in the lower division, so he could see that as a positive going down, which is worrying as Newcastle fans if he's so desperate to sell the club now.
Yeah.
So you asked if I thought that Ashley would panic. No, but he is one ruthless Vato, right? I mean, he is
100%.
ruthless. And that's how he got his money, and he's never going to change. And that, Matt, what you're suggesting there is some pretty ruthless strategy, and it terrifies me he might think that. I honestly believe, guys, that we would be better off with no manager at this point. Because, I mean, I know that's not legal and not how it works, but honestly, no one would put us out there 5-4-1. No one would do that. We don't have the players for it. We don't have the wingbacks for it. We don't have that. We would lose just as many games playing some kind of 4-4-2, you know, whatever going forward, but we'd still win some games and we beat these equal teams. I looked up here in the chat, people are like, is this worse than McLaren? I can't believe I'm saying this. Do you realize in 2015 and 16 that we were 14th in possession with 46%, and now we're 17th with 41%. We were 18th with 10.5 shots per game. We're 19th with 8.8 right now. We were 13th with 44 total goals. Let's cut that in half. That'd be about 22 and some change right now. In every measurable way, we are worse off than we were in 15-16. And we did have some interesting players that went on to do great things with other teams, but I would take this team over that team most of the games. It's not like we don't have people. We're performing worse. And this is why I say it would be better off with our players to walk out there like a kickabout on a Saturday and just say, I don't know, let's do this. I honestly believe we would do better.
I think that's probably the most perfect answer we've had. And to be honest with you, Jay, it's just been very excruciating tonight or this afternoon in your case to watch that. But it like that makes sense in terms of me listening to that. In terms of why this manager shouldn't be put in place, you can compare it with the Steve McClellan team as well. The players are better. The players in that team are better. Wijnaldum, Sissoko have had their moments with other clubs, but Sissoko was playing out of position. Wijnaldum, to an extent, was playing out of position, but was doing really well. It's just excruciating and frustrating to watch. But we're going to have to try and get some more people on, Jay, because we're still a full studio. But
thank you all.
Thank you very much for your time.
Good evening.
As Jay Lee says, Matt, we're going to have to start putting 2 people on because we've got so many people coming on, and we've got about just under half an hour. So if we can get 2 people on, Matt, that'd be absolutely brilliant. Who can we get on?
Absolutely. We can get on Lewis and Daniel. So I will just quickly add those on if you bear with me. And we'll take
we've got Lewis and Daniel. Lewis, we'll start with you. Lewis, an appalling evening, a tough evening to take. There's just no positives, is there? Who was the worst player on the pitch for Newcastle today, Lewis? Lewis, I don't think we can hear you, I'm afraid. If you can turn your mic on. Daniel, I'll ask you the same question while Lewis sorts his sound out. Who was the worst player on the pitch today?
Probably Fraser. I mean, you do something more moronic like he did. You know what I mean? You're gonna, all the eyes are gonna be on you. You know what I mean? You get a stupid yellow card first of all, and then you think, you know what? I mean, what was going through his brain? You know what I mean? 2 minutes later, thinking, you know what I mean? I've got a yellow card. If I get sent off, the team are already playing the shit. You know what I mean? So I know, you know what I mean, guys kick the ball away just a little bit, And oh no, let's go in and try and absolutely like crack the guy's shin. You know what I mean? It's flipping. I mean, it's just moronic, isn't it? I mean, I'm gonna try and restrain my language because there's other people in the house at the moment, so I'm not gonna rant and rave. But you know what I mean? He's just got to go, isn't he? I can't defend him. I can't defend him anymore. It's, you know what I mean, the tactics were, you know what I mean, my 5-year-old son could probably set up Newcastle better than he did tonight. It's 5 at the back against a team that has won one game all season in league and cup competitions, and you're setting them up 5 at the back with Wilson, who, you know what I mean, he's not like a 6-foot striker where you can ping a ball up to him and then bring more players in. You know what I mean? He's what, 5'8", 5'9". He's not like your Andy Carroll where you can like hold the ball up, players come in, get it out wide, put the ball back in the box, all that kind of thing. It's, you know what I mean? You should have gone 4 at the back, 2 holding, 3 in midfield, Wilson up top. You know what I mean? That 3, you could have had Miggy at the number 10, you could have had Fraser on the left, and you could have had, I don't know, Murphy, or I don't know, even put Matty out on the wing or something, or Anderson or something. But it's just, it's like he's got a flipping cabbage in his head, and it's flipping like becoming mouldy up there, and it's just nothing's working. You know what I mean?
Don't say anything about cabbages. We'll get a lot of Villa fans on who will say exactly the same thing. Cabbages are quite expensive nowadays, Daniel. They're quite expensive. We'll get Lewis in now.
He's just a fucking idiot, mate. Honestly.
We'll get you back in a second, Daniel. But Lewis, let's see if it sounds working. Lewis, what did you make of that? It was just appalling, wasn't it? Lewis, you sound. We still can't hear you, I'm afraid. We still can't hear you. We can see you talking, but we just can't hear you. So I don't know if you want to try and fix your audio from your side. Daniel,
you go on, mate.
Who was the worst? Who was the worst player on the? You said we said Fraser was the worst player on the pitch, but does Jeff Hendrick not do more? Does Sean Longstaff not do more tonight? Does DeAndre Yedlin not do more tonight? Because they were awful tonight. I
don't. It's hard though, isn't it? I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, you can say Fraser was the worst player because, I mean, he, like I said, he got sent off. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a few times where, you know what I mean, where I think when they got in down Sheffield United's left flank. I think it was Yedlin, Wilson, and who was the other person there? Was it Hendrick or Hayden? Yeah. And then they looked it all up, and I thought, you know what? I mean, that's probably the only positive that I could take from that first half. You know what I mean? Was it first half or second half? I can't remember.
First half,
yeah. But I mean, like I said, that there were moments. It wasn't like it was consistent throughout the whole game where they were actually playing well. I mean, to be honest, mate, I mean, scoring the players, mate, I don't expect anyone probably to get above probably 4 or 5, if I'm brutally honest. So there's your spoiler right there, mate.
Me, Sam, and Carl are doing that in about half an hour's time, so there's no pressure.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be tuning in to watch that just to see Lee because he's going to be apoplectic with rage. So yeah, I mean, it's just a sham, innit? From board level down to fucking manager level, it's just an absolute fucking piss poor fucking. I mean, other clubs, man, must look at us and just think, fucking hell, ours is bad, but flipping out, looking at that, it's just a fucking shit show, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll try and see if we get Lewis. Lewis, do you agree? Do you think Fraser was the worst player for you tonight? I think
might be having some technical difficulties with Lewis there.
Matt, do you agree with that?
Unfortunately. Yeah, you know, to be honest, I was trying to sort Lewis's microphone out, so I wasn't quite listening to Daniel's last point there. I heard the end bit. Oh, Lewis is gone. Sorry, I'm just on a bit of a delay there.
Yeah, Lewis, we still can't see you, I'm afraid, my friend. Yeah, we'll see if we can get Lewis on a little bit later on, Matt. But just finally, Daniel, we've been saying this to everybody. Last question for you. If Steve Bruce goes, who comes in?
Fucking a member of the general public, mate, because any one of them would be better than him. So, mate, there you go. That's probably the best answer you're going to get tonight, mate, if I'm brutally honest.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time, Daniel.
The last thing, mate, I said, you know what I mean, it's we can only just try and remain positive with it, but how can you, mate, with him in charge? But you know what I mean, we'll just, you know what I mean, we support them through thick and thin, don't we? You know what I mean, even when I'm grey old and can't flipping move or remember flipping who Newcastle are, mate, we'll still support them, wouldn't we? So yeah, but yeah, like I said, guys, you know what I mean, keep doing the good work, all you do and all that. And yeah, if I'm not too drunk or pissed off, I'll come and see you after Arsenal.
Thank you very much for your time, Daniel. All the best. I'll see you on Monday night.
Yeah, take it easy, boys. See you later.
Cheers. Right, Matt, we'll get another two on. We'll see if we can try and get Lewis a little bit later before we finish. But we'll get two more people on.
We did. We've got another Lewis Roberts is waiting in the wing, so we'll get him on, and we'll get Harry on as well. We'll speak to both of you lads, see what you got to say.
Good evening to you both, Lewis and Harry. We'll start with Lewis. We've been trying to talk to a Lewis, so we should try and speak to a Lewis on the Fan Reaction Show. Right. Lewis, what do you want to say tonight?
What can you say? I didn't sort of jump on the ship to get rid of Bruce as quickly as some others. I was a bit of a supporter of his for a while, thinking, let's give him a chance. He got it bad from day one. Before he even walked through the door, people were writing him off. But fuck me, I've run out of patience now. Perhaps naively, I've been sort of saying for a while, the players have got to take some responsibility. Even if he's saying, look, go out and defend and just drop back, they can, some boys with a bit of character like Matt Ritchie, Kieran Clark said, right, fuck this, lads, let's have a go. But he's just setting us up to lose. As soon as I saw the team sheet, I thought, yeah, well, fuck yeah. Because it's just, oh my God, it's dreadful, man. But is it going to change? I think Ashley's probably going to leave it too late again, like he did with McLaren. To be honest, I don't know what to say, boys.
Harry, welcome to the show. Newcastle's probably best chance of the whole game was when Sheffield United's defender almost put in his own net with the last chest of the game. Does that just tell you how bad it was for Newcastle today?
Oh, absolutely. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely horrendous. I'm sick to death of it. I'm fed up of this absolutely horrendous defensive football. It's awful to watch every single week. It's awful. So frustrating. Genuinely, one of us lot could do a better job. Like, what is he doing? Why is Miggy on the bench? What's he thinking? Like, he's our third most expensive signing, and he plays him out of position or on the bench consistently. What on earth is he thinking? Like, yeah. And he has the attitude to call out other fans. What is he doing? Genuinely, what has got him in that job?
Yeah, it's a fair
won't
point.
Pull his finger out, will he?
Yeah, it's a fair point. And Matt, I'll let you speak to Lewis about the match as well, but he makes a good point. You look at our bench. How strong was our bench tonight?
You look at bench those players. There's a lot of
people that are out on the pitch.
There's a lot of informed players on that bench as well. Like, you look at Andy Carroll, had a fantastic game. Even Anderson, he came off, had a decent game. Why not? Maybe not start him today, but why not bring him off the bench? Give him a chance. We've nothing to play for once you're down to 10 men, according to Bruce. So, fuck it, why not?
Yeah. Well, do you agree, Lewis?
Yeah. Why is Jacob Murphy not starting that game? We want to play on the front foot, put a bit of pressure on him, get balls in the box. I really, one positive I can take out of the game was Fernandez's tackle. I thought that was class.
It was.
That was the only positive I could take out of that. But I really feel for certain players. I really feel for Callum Wilson. He's just getting fucked over every game. He's got no support. He's doing his best. He's chasing down every ball. He's trying to put himself about, get himself in good positions, but he's just been shafted. And him and he walked to here. I know obviously they were relegated, but Jesus Christ. Fraser, quickly, I'll just say, for a guy who's probably been chomping at the bit to get on, and then he does that, I think, oh my God. Jamal was giving him a fucking slap at half time, because that was ridiculous. Unbelievable, man.
Harry, Lewis is bang on. 2 stupid challenges to put Newcastle in a really, well, I was going to say almost impossible situation, but I think that was done after about a minute and 30 seconds. Why did he go in for that second challenge, already knowing he was on a yellow card? And plus, he knew all the Sheffield United players knew he was on a yellow card as well.
No idea. Hot-headed, frustration, maybe. Maybe he's very annoyed at the fact that Bruce's, his system, because Fraser wasn't getting a lot of the ball. He wasn't really involved, although he was probably our best outlet while he was on. He probably just
put some
frustrated
decent balls in the
heat
box
at the moment, but haven't a clue. Haven't a clue. But
we
just
can
to
only
add, while
hope
we're
there's
thinking out of the
frustration.
minor positives, and a little fact. A little positive was that Joe Linton didn't touch the pitch tonight, and that's only the second Premier League game that he hasn't been involved in since he signed, out of about 55. Yeah.
He could have scored the winner tonight. You never know. He could have come on and scored the winner.
You're not just kidding me there.
Oh, Matt, how much have you had to drink tonight?
Oh, not enough, I don't think. Not after that.
I want some of what he's drinking.
Oh, it'll be unbelievable. It'll be unbelievable what he's drinking. Lewis, Harry, thank you so much for your time. It's been great to talk to you. Hopefully see you after the Arsenal game on Monday night.
Hey, keep it up, boys.
Thank you.
Cheers, lads. You too.
Thank you.
Keep it up. Thank you.
Cheers. Let's get another 2 people on, Matt, and if you can tell us what you're drinking as well, that'd be brilliant.
We've had these lads. Obviously, we're going to try and get Lewis, the original Lewis, back on, see if his mic's working, and also Connor, who's been waiting a long time. Thank you for your patience, Connor, mate.
Yes, we can hear you, Lewis.
Brilliant. Sorry about that.
No, it's no problem at all.
Look, it's my first time being on.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Lewis, welcome to the show. I think the first question I asked you was, it was absolutely shambolic. What did you make of the game? So we'll go with that. It was absolutely shambolic. Lewis, what did you make of the game?
What can you describe the words with that game? There's nothing to describe it to keep it family friendly.
Yeah, it was very, very tough, Lewis. What changes would you have made if you were Steve Bruce before the game?
I probably would have put 4 up front.
4 up front?
Yeah. Andy Carroll, Miggy, and Ryan, Fraser and somebody else, and I forgot who it was. Who my dad said before.
Wilson?
Yeah. Why have the 3 4 up front?
Yeah.
Hey, why not? Why not?
Why not do a 4-3-4?
Well, if we're going to go for, I think that's what Chris Wilder did about 10 minutes into the second half. He had all these strikers on. Matt, what was the name of the other person? Sorry, I just want to make sure we get everybody's names right.
Connor in the bottom left there. He's been waiting a while to get on.
Yeah, Connor, thank you very much for your patience. Let's get your views on Newcastle's defeat tonight. Is Steve Bruce a dead man walking tonight?
I think we lost them.
Are you there, Connor?
Oh, he's on. I think he's on mute. Hold on. I think your mic's muted, Connor. Hold on. Let me try and unmute you, and we'll see if that works.
We'll bear with them a second. Connor, can you hear? If you can just speak it, just like there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Brilliant. Yeah, is Steve Bruce a dead man?
I can hear you, but
one second. I'm just going to put my phone on charge and one change my camera around again. Sorry.
Yeah, good.
It's all right. Don't worry. Yeah. So Connor, is Steve Bruce a dead man walking tonight?
Probably. I mean, yeah, it has to be. For me, I have tried to defend Steve Bruce. I gave him the benefit of the doubt last season because it was easy to come in under the circumstances with frankly, of Mike Ashley letting Rafa go. But the fact is that Steve Bruce has been given more than Rafa was ever given financially. He's been given, I think he's spent it on the right players. £40 million for Joe Winton. Are you kidding me? That is, we have not had our money for that. Tonight is, I mean, Bruce mentions the decisions by the ref and VAR. That's not the reason we lost. We were losing that game before we got sent off. I mean, Sheffield United were all over us like a rash. And it's just constantly ultra defensive, anti-football every week. We need somebody younger, fresher, who's got better ideas going forward, because we've got strikers. We just don't use them enough, I think, is the problem.
Connor, why are we so negative?
Like, it's just...
Because I think that's Bruce's style. I think...
Yeah, keep going, Connor.
I think that's Bruce's style, because I think he's tried to adopt the same things as at the likes of Hull and Sheffield winning stuff like that. We're a far bigger club than teams like that who should have more ambition than the likes of that. That's where Bruce's levels are from at times. But tonight you're playing the team in the league who've not won a game in the league all season, and you're setting up in a 5-4-1 formation. I mean, you'd think we were playing the team at the top of the league. You'd think it was Liverpool we were playing. And even then, if it wasn't for the heroics of Carol Darlow, we would have lost that game. And too often last season, we relied on the heroics of Martin de Braafheid. He had the most saves in the Premier League last season than anybody else. Now, that's a good start for him, but that shows just how poor we are, particularly defensively, that he's having to make that many saves to get us points in. There's a real chance of relegation if Bruce doesn't go, but I don't think Ashley will sack him because he's the cheap option for Ashley. He doesn't want to spend more money than he has to.
Yeah, very fair point, Lewis. We'll get you quickly before we get our last guests on for tonight. Who was your man of the match for Newcastle? Would you go with Carl Darlow again with a couple of good saves?
Darlow, but the benefit is at least we've got two goalkeepers now with Darlow and Dubravka. Who can we? Obviously, Darlow's done brilliant. Well, we couldn't do much. Darlow's man of the match. At least we got two good, decent goalkeepers now.
Yeah, definitely. Where would we be without our goalkeepers? I'll tell you.
Right, in the bottom half, I think 20th. I think bottom of the league.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's just one of those things. But that's the joys of being a Newcastle fan. We can laugh about it, but we don't want to laugh about it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, lads. We're going to try and get two more people on before we finish the show.
Sorry about before. I don't want to.
No, don't worry about it. Thank you very much to the pair of you. It's been brilliant to speak to you.
Thank you for letting me coming on.
No problem at all. We'll see you after the Arsenal game.
I'm going to do the Arsenal prediction before I go. I think we're going to get beat 7-0.
Oh, 7.
No, don't say that. Thanks very much, gents. We'll see you later on. Have a great night.
Enjoy your evening, lads. Enjoy your evening.
Take care, lads.
Matt, we've got time for two more. Let's get two more people on before we go to the score and the players.
I think we might be all right. We've got Callum waiting, but he doesn't seem to have his camera on. I can try and bring him in if he's there, but I can't see him moving. So I think we'll be all right. I think no one else wants to get out the. Oh no, hold on. There we go. So someone's turned their camera on finally. I don't know your name. Your name, Newcastle. Oh, he's turned his camera off again. We'll bring him in anyway.
We'll see if he's.
You'll have to introduce yourself, mate. And we've got Callum as well.
Hey, lads.
Fantastic. Well, welcome to the show, gents.
Hello. How are
what did you make of the game tonight?
Okay, if I start? Or...
Yeah, go for it, mate.
You can go.
Okay, so firstly, Bruce needs to go because the way he puts players into the wrong positions, it's in my eyes, it's just so criminal. You look at Isaac Hayden, right? He's stronger in the central midfield position rather than centre back. And the fact playing 5 at the back, bottom of the table, Sheffield United, right? Obviously, they're a good team. I rate them. But at the same time, it's why? We know they can't score. Man, got David McGoldrick up front. On, man. At the end of the day, we should be going for these teams and going for their throats.
100%. What would you like to say?
When are we gonna get the 3 points?
Yeah.
Look at our next 8 games. We're playing Arsenal, Leeds United, Everton, Crystal Palace, Southampton, Chelsea, Man United, and Wolves. Where are the 3 points coming in?
That's a very fair point, because it looks frightening, Matt, when you look at it like that.
You do. I mean, that's just until the end of February as well. And even after that, you've got West Brom, Villa, and Brighton, which aren't easy games by any stretch of the imagination.
Huge games when you look at it now, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, apart from Arsenal, you look at the game against Leeds, who, yes, they turned us over in the previous fixture, but Crawley beat them 3-0, and by no means was that. I was watching that game. By no means was that a weakened Leeds side. They had a second choice keeper in goal, but a lot of they were first team players in that. And fair play to Crawley, they played well, but 3-0. And then, we've played Everton, who we beat earlier in the season. Yes, they're in good form, but we've beaten them once. Why can't we beat them again? Palace, same thing. It was a narrow game. We beat them. Why can't we beat them again? But you can't. Watching games like this, what is it? One win in 7 now?
1 win in 8.
1 win in 8. Sorry,
that's not.
You've got no hope. You've got no hope.
I was literally doing schoolwork.
I mean, you look at our club, right?
I was literally doing schoolwork and watching the game, and I would rather do the schoolwork than watch the game. It was a disgrace.
What would you like to say, mate?
Yeah, so you look at our club, right? I mean, I live in Leicester, and you see Leicester performing so well in the Championship, and I just think like we should be higher than them. Like we should be doing more, right? At the end of the day, right? If we had, I mean, we've got the team for it. We've got Fraser, we've got Johnson. I rate Jolin, right? I know people disagree, but I believe he is a player. I mean, he's good on the ball, I think. Right? I know, again, people may disagree. Finn. And then Wilson. Obviously, he's a class striker. And you got Almiron. Again, why is he not being played in the cam? Come on, being played in the camp. I don't know if you guys see it too, but like if we played the right position, I reckon like we could have got, a win today. We could have got something from Arsenal again in the FA Cup. But Aguirre is just too negative.
Yeah, he is. He is very negative, and it's difficult to say the least. We're going to have to cut it there, lads, because we have got the score and the players in the next couple of minutes. So a big thanks to everybody that's been involved tonight, and a big thanks to our last pairing as well. But Matt, I'll give you the final word before we wrap things up. A really poor evening for Steve Bruce, and he's under. Well, I think he's lost all the fans tonight.
I mean, if he hasn't lost the players, he's definitely lost the fans. Like you say, it's really, really poor performance. There's no desire, there's no passion, there's no hope. And well, that's the players and the fans, I think, summing it up. But like there was a good point made there with the last couple of lads. Where are the points going to come from? The league is all we've got to play for now, and where are the points going to come from? But yeah, I think that's it from the live fan reaction. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks, Johnny, for hosting as well. You're fantastic as always. Do you have anything else coming up on the channel this week?
We've got scoring the players in the next minute, and then we've got the last word with Lee. Don't miss that. Honestly, he's ready. He's ready to let rip into Steve Bruce, to say the least. The Green and Mulner Show is back tomorrow. It's going to be live on the main channel, and Sam will announce who we have got on scoring the players. So make sure you stay tuned. We're literally going to come off for 1 minute and come straight back on. So a big thanks to Matt, as always, who's been brilliant for the last hour or so. And from the pair of us, we'll see you both very, very soon.